What's going on? Zach Adelstein here with Daily Edge Sports, bringing you another college football video. Going to be going over the prize picks afternoon and evening slate here. We went over the morning slate in one of our previous videos, so going to go over kind of the meat of this slate. Looking at it, I'm doing this on Friday afternoon. There's some really nice games tomorrow. We talked about this yesterday. Illinois USC is a nice appetizer, but moving on down, we have A&M Auburn. We have some of these games are awful, but even I think Sawyer Robertson could go off against Oklahoma State, who just fired their coach. Indiana, Iowa, Tennessee, Mississippi State is going to be an underrated game on the slate for sure. It's going to be a really good game. Then we get the nice meat of it into the night. We have Penn State, Oregon State, Penn State having that blackout. I think I missed up here. We have Alabama, Georgia, which is I think it's going under the radar. There we go. Alabama, Georgia. It's normally, one of the games of the year. No one's even talking about it. We have Ole Miss and LSU. Pull up that Ole Miss game. Just looking at it, they don't even have anything on here. So yeah, just a really good. That's interesting. There's not a lot on here for there. Yeah, going to be a really good slate. Going to be keeping an eye on everything here. Come on over, join us in Daily Edge Sports. We have our all of our slips going to be going out later today and tonight. Have some for tonight. Put some out tomorrow. Get some of these discounts that the sites like to put up. Been doing really well with those. Been doing well every week. And then we're moving on into NFL on Sunday. CashKeg has you covered there. Has some videos out and going to be all over that with slips all week. Going to try to make it easier on you guys. Have a new feature here. Have QR code. All you have to do is scan that code, take you right on over to the site. You can join us in 5 minutes. Go click subscribe, pick the plan you want, get into our Discord, and start winning. We'll have all the tools for you, all the slips for you, and we'll get ready to go. Let's get on into this really good slate. Going to start another quarterback. Talked about some quarterbacks yesterday. Going to go on here. This line's bumped a little bit. When I first saw it, it's 247 for a while, bumped up to 258. Still really like this line with Marcel Reed. Kind of going back and looking at 3 games this year. Texas A&M has played. Started at UTSA, had a good game. Didn't need to do much against Utah State, and then went off against Notre Dame. And look at that 360-yard performance. Marcel Reed was a running quarterback last year. Now he's really developed into a nice all-around quarterback. He's throwing the ball really well. He's spinning the ball really well. His accuracy is there. According to PFF, Auburn is ranked 122nd pass coverage. They gave up 419 yards to Sawyer Robertson and Baylor. Gave up 271 last week to John Mateer in Oklahoma. Just a lot of yards here. This game does have a decent total, and they are home favorites. A&M is home favorites over Auburn by 6.5 points. 52.5 point total. He's going to throw it out here. They're going to have to respect the run. They're not going to be able to just drop everybody into coverage. And I wouldn't go much higher than this, maybe 260.5. But I think, this is a spot he could get 300 for sure. He's going to go there over on Marcel Reed and A&M passing yards. Going to go to one of the other big games here. Going to go to the whiteout. Everyone loves the whiteout. It's so pretty. We have Dante Moore to Corian Moore. It has been a great connection all year. Looking at this 4 games so far, didn't need to do much against Montana State. Didn't do much. Had a nice game against Oklahoma State. Northwestern here, didn't need to do much again. It was a blowout. And even Oregon State. These have all been blowouts. Neither one of these teams have been tested. For being honest, neither one of Penn State or Oregon has played anybody at all. So this is going to be a good game all over the place. You're looking at Moore. He's gone at least 49 yards in both of his in all 3, of his FBS games this year. Didn't cover, obviously, against Northwestern. Was right there. They didn't need him. Didn't need him to do much. He leads the team in targets with 18 targets on the year. What really I love about this, he has an 16.7 average depth of target. Has over 5 yards yak, over 20 yards a target and catch. He's basically averaging. You add those together. He could go, 1 or 2 catches here and get this. He's going to get more targets than that. He's going to get 5 or 6 targets here. Should catch 4 or 5 of them. Could get more targets here if this game's really close. Penn State is a favorite here at home. But I think he's going 65 plus here. I think he's going to get plenty of targets in a close game. I do know this is Penn State. They're going to try and slow it down. But this Oregon offense it chugs along. It keeps going. Their top receivers do really well in this offense. We've seen that before. Corian Moore going over this line, I think, is a really, really nice play here. Going with someone else here whose line, another decent game this week. Had a big game last week. We have Elijah Suratt here. He has been very good for several years now. I've been looking at it. This line was at 5.5. It went down to 4.5 as a goblin, and you can see there's everything but 5.5 on here now. Do you think you can ratchet this up a little bit? You can ladder it up a little bit if you wanted to. So last week against Illinois, he had 9 catches on 10 targets and led the team and he leads the team on the year with a 30% target share. We against Rutgers last week in pass coverage, and Indiana's just going to throw it a ton. It's what they do now. Some of their running backs are hurt. It's just the identity of this team. He should get 8 to 10 targets here at least. He has a 75% catch rate on the year. He gets 8 targets, which I think is the minimum. He's going to get that 5.5. He gets 7 targets here. He's going to get 5. He should go over the 5.5 catches. I'm going to keep an eye out for that to come back. I really like that 5.5 catches. I do think with some of your plays you really like, you can ladder this up a little bit, 6.5, 7.5. I wouldn't. 8.5 is pushing it a little bit. You really need those 9, and this is a decent defense on Iowa. But I do like this the spot 4.5, and I'm going to keep an eye for that 5.5 to pop back up. Last place we're going to go on this 4-man. We've run this before a few times. I'm not sure if we did it in videos, but we definitely have in slips. Brennan Thompson, lead receiver for Mississippi State. Kind of see what he's had to do when he's need to and when he doesn't. So come down here, that game, they played at Southern Miss week 1. It's a weird game, an SEC team going to a Conference USA team. Was a close game. Everyone knew it was going to be a close game going in, which is why it was weird. Put up 92 yards. And he had that Arizona State game, that dramatic touchdown at the end of the game to win it. But had a big game that game. Was just targeted constantly throughout that game. 133 yards. He didn't need to do anything against Alcorn State. 53 yards. He didn't need to do anything against Northern Illinois. 13 yards. So I'm kind of discounting those. And now we have Tennessee. Tennessee is a big favorite here. They're favored by 9.5 points at Mississippi State. So they're 10-point road favorites. There's 62.5 point total here. There are going to be points that are put up here. So Mississippi State's supposed to put up, 26 points here? So they're going to get yards. They're going to get offense. They have to generate it somewhere. Last week, Tennessee gave up over 300 yards against Georgia. 2 weeks ago, they gave up over 300 yards against Georgia. Last week, they gave up 371 passing yards against UAB. They blew them out, so they didn't need to do a lot. I think they held some back for this week and for more SEC play. But, 371 yards is a lot. Brennan Thompson is going to get his targets. I think you can take this. What I'm really liking this, though, is it's one of my favorite goblins on the board. You put this in here, you get that nice goblin. Again, I don't mind at all laddering this up. I think 75, 85 yards is definitely in his wheelhouse here. I think you can take this, up to 79. I wouldn't, maybe a tick on 99, 100 yards against this Tennessee team, but the game script's going to call for it. The game script is definitely going to call for Brennan Thompson to go off here. So let's go back over what we've done. Marcel Reed over passing yards, Corian Moore over receiving yards, Elijah Suratt over 4.5 receptions, and Brennan Thompson, the Goblin, over 39.5 receiving yards. Again, keep an eye out for that Suratt pick to go back up. And look up. It's right there. All you got to do is scan that. It'll take you right to the website. Join us. Get your slips. Get your NFL slips, and we'll be all around. We'll be back with another couple videos this week. Be back on a regular schedule next week. And look forward to an amazing week of college football. A great week. Hope you all have a good one. Peace.